everyone, welcome to Danny Chats. This is the second episode. Thanks to everyone who watched the first episode and all the nice comments that we had. Today I'm joined by Heather. She's from Scotland. We talked for a little while, or a short little chat about her story, and it's really interesting, so it'd be nice to share it with everyone. Hi Heather.
Hi Danny, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Is it all right up in Scotland at the moment?
Yeah, nice and sunny for a change.
Good, good. Okay, so yeah, like I say, we had a short chat about your story. So your diagnosis came out of the blue, is that right?
Yeah. It was December 1991. Well, it began into January 1991. Felt really not unwell, sleeping all the time. My stomach was really bloated, my legs were swollen. Just didn't know what was wrong, back and forward to the doctors, lots of tests, couldn't find what was wrong with me. I was anemic, so I was put on iron tablets, which made me feel really ill.
Yeah.
I was working 2 jobs at the time. I had just got a full-time job plus my student hours after leaving school.
Really?
So decided to give it a rest for a week and go on the sick.
So was you teenage years or just after teenage?
So I would be just 20.
Yes, very young still.
Yeah, So everybody just thought I was doing too much, and because of the anemia, that was what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
So that week I decided that I was going to be off sick. I was at the doctor's the day before, my stomach was really swollen. I can actually remember getting out of the car and holding on to my mum's arm and walking up to the doctor's at that point.
Yeah,
So
the
that
swollen
maybe,
stomach. I had the swollen stomach, water retention.
yeah. So that was maybe about the Tuesday that week. We were talking 30 years now, and I don't remember it as clearly as what I would have
No.
before, but reading your own blog, it brought it a lot back to me,
Yeah, yeah.
how you were feeling at the time. So more blood tests, and I think it was a Thursday morning, Wednesday or Thursday morning, the doctor came to my door. Like I stayed with my mum at the time, and he said that we would have to take me to hospital because I was seriously ill. Mum wanted to know why, of course. Even myself at that point, I was being sick. I had diarrhea. My head was all like fuzzy, and I was like really lightheaded.
Yeah.
It was just a horrible feeling. But you got to the stage that was like 6 months into feeling like that, and you thought this was the way I was just going to feel forever.
Yeah,
So
I totally understand that. I've had that where you don't even realise that you're becoming ill, sort of thing. It's so gradual and you become so used to it.
yeah, so I just thought this was the way it was going to be. So when the doctor arrived at the door, it was a bit of a shock, but
I bet.
phoned an ambulance, told me that I would have to go to a local hospital in Carluke, which is a small village, maybe about 20 minutes away from where I actually stayed. The ambulance drivers came with a chair, and I was so determined I wasn't getting in that chair.
Nice, nice.
I walked out into the ambulance and ended up in the Law Hospital in Carluke. Even then, we still weren't quite sure what was wrong.
No, I bet.
They, they knew there was something wrong, like it was to do with like bile in the liver, but they didn't understand what it was. So I was being asked all these questions, like when was that the last time I was abroad? Had I cut myself recently?
Yeah.
All these, I had like scans and ultrasounds and things like that. So eventually this wonderful consultant, Dr. Crofton, he came to my bedside and he said, I think we'll have to put you on some medication. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. But at that point I was like away with the fairies.
Yeah, probably quite on morphine and everything. I was at that time.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's okay. He says, we're talking to a hospital in London just to see if they've got any ideas as to what could help you. So they gave me a blood transfusion and also some fresh frozen plasma.
Yeah.
My blood count was like 3 or something like that, something like really drastic. So that was the Thursday, and then by Saturday morning, he came back to me and he said, Heather, I think we need to take you to London for a liver transplant. And I was like, what? So obviously my mum and my sister and all my friends and all that, they were eventually told, were really upset, and it didn't seem to like register with me how serious it was.
No, I bet that's something straight out of the blue. It's something you've never ever thought about, or
Yeah.
because as you probably know, I had my liver transplant recently, but when I was diagnosed, they wanted to give me one then, like yourself. But I, being young and I don't know, a bit sort of strong-headed, I was like, no, I'll just try the medication for as long as I can, and it worked for a long time. So, but yeah, I can imagine that was a huge shock for the whole family.
Yeah, and ironically, I had yellow pajamas on and a yellow housecoat, so
Really?
completely yellow.
Yeah,
Even the whites in my eyes were yellow by that point.
yeah.
So I was flown down to, I think what was a hospital, the airport, in Essex.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I was
uh,
near Stansted. That'll be Chelmsford. You would have gone to.
uh,
Yeah.
so it was like this wee two-seater plane. I had a doctor and a nurse with me,
Really? Wow.
my mum and me in my yellow pajamas
Yeah.
and my yellow housecoat, and the pilot. So I was lying down, obviously, but my mum was telling me afterwards, like it was just this tiny wee plane, and the pilot was like basically going like this on the window to try and see through, which was making her really nervous.
Yeah, I bet.
So we landed, which I think must have been Stansted, and the doctor and the nurse, there was an ambulance waiting for me there, and they said, right, we're going to blue light you, and I was like, no, you're not. You're not blue lighting. So eventually we got to King's College, and it was a Saturday night by that point. It was crazy because we went through A&E on a Saturday night in London.
Did
Uh,
you? When we went there through that night A&E, there was a riot the night that we went through, and
really,
King's can be a rough hospital as well. So must have been shocking for you and the family. Well, maybe not so much you because I don't remember it, but my mum does. She was quite worried at the time.
yeah, well, all I remember is lying down on the trolley and seeing all the lights, the strip lights on the ceiling, and hearing all this noise, and my mum like running behind me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I get taken straight into ICU and plugged up to all these machines. At one point, they were still asking me questions at that point, like my history and like where I had been, any cuts or any like anything that could maybe like have infected me,
Yeah.
like hepatitis or whatever I think they were going down the road of. So I mean, all the doctors will probably change now from when I was there. But I can't even remember the doctor's name. He was really high up.
I
Um,
think I had a doctor called Dr. Hyde. I'm pretty sure.
no, it wasn't that. But Dr. Heaton was there at the time. I'm not sure if he's still there. Dr. Ramage. But there was a professor as well, and I remember him coming in and saying, "This is just ridiculous. You know, this girl needs a liver transplant. Just do it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, he's in charge then." um, so that was the Saturday night. I get told I was put on the National Transplant Register.
Yeah, you would have been. Yeah.
Yeah, and by the Tuesday morning, uh, first thing in the morning, so my mum and my Celia sat with me, and also my sister. And like the night before, my uncle, my aunt, and my little sister came down in the car on the Saturday night, and they were in this room at the end of Todd Ward,
Yeah,
with
I've probably been in there.
two single beds in it, and they were all squeezed in there,
Yeah.
which is amazing. And I just remember them being there all night the night before, talking to me, reassuring me, like saying everything was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, I had really long hair at the time, so I wanted my sister to plait my hair before the theatre cap goes on
Yeah.
and stuff. The most bizarre things now, like in your head. And I got like probably a pre-med, so like a couple of tablets by that point. I was feeling a bit woozy, And then I just remember getting wheeled out of ICU, and that was the last thing I remember until I woke up about 3 days later.
Yeah, it's lovely that you had your family there.
Yeah.
It does really, really help, doesn't it? I was fortunate enough to have all my family come and go at different times and things like that. So, because like you said, quite a lot of the time you're not really with it anyway. So, it was nice to have people around. And then I take it the transplant obviously went all well. No hiccups.
It did, yeah. Like I could see what I thought wasn't my arm, because obviously I was all swollen, all bruised, no tubes coming out everywhere. And I heard her voice, and then I could hear her saying she's opened her eyes, and I could feel that in my I was on like a ventilator or whatever. So the nurses like came running over and sorted me out, let me sit up a wee bit and stuff. So and I'm sure you know yourself like how painful it was when you first wake up.
Definitely. Even for a good few weeks afterwards. Well, to be fair, I'm 8 months past now, and if I do anything still, it strains just slightly where the scar is. I don't know whether you still have any issues or.
Not so much now, but I've got a Mercedes-Benz scar, so probably bigger than what you have. And sometimes I used to get like really funny feelings in it, and they explained it was like the nerves trying to like join together again, but they keep missing each other, so it's like an itchy sort of feeling.
Yeah, I get that. And someone else explained to me it could be also where some of the muscles have sort of joined together that weren't meant to be together, where it all got cut, and sort of so it just feels slightly tighter. But yeah, I feel amazing. 8 months down the line, it's incredible. And I take it you then obviously didn't, because with me they said I don't have Wilson's disease now because of the new liver. So you didn't have to have any Wilson's disease medication. You just went on straight onto immunosuppressants.
Yeah, I did. I went on to tacrolimus Prograf.
Yep.
So I was one of the trial patients for it.
Oh, really? So for that, then, do they tell you that this is a trial drug? Do you want to try it or not? Or is that?
Yeah, if you want to do it. So my choice was that or the older one, which slips my mind, the name of the older one. Oh, can't remember it now, but that was the only two options then. And the other one I think you can take in liquid form, but apparently like the tablets are like horse tablets, they're like huge.
Active, yeah.
Yeah, and I says, oh yeah, I'll try the new drug, and they actually asked me if I wanted to try a new anaesthetic as well. It was supposed to be for heart surgery, but it was to stop blood loss.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's fine, I'll sign that. And my mum's looking at me and she's like going, are you sure you know what you're doing? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine, it'll be okay.
I was very much like that at King's. I didn't get to try any of the new drugs, but because Wilson's is so rare, they have the eye testing clinic there.
Yeah.
And quite often I'd be asked to just go down there for half a day where all the students could come in, or if you had an examination, they'd be like, can the students come in? So you'd get felt by sort of 12, 15 people. But yeah, I was very much the same. And with blood tests, if they got someone new, I'm just like, yeah, go on, have a go.
Yeah, I was the same. Yeah, I got the test done in my eyes as well.
Yeah, because that's one of the main diagnostic features or things, I think.
Yeah.
So then you had that, and now how many roughly years are you down the line?
I'm 29 years down the line in June.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because that was one of my, they didn't really, well, they obviously can't, but they don't give you a shelf life on how long your liver's going to last. So that was the top of my thoughts was, is it just going to be 10 years? But I've spoken to so many people like yourself that have gone, 30, 40 years, and they're still going strong. So it's really encouraging.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons I really wanted to get you on here as well, because I'm sure other people will be feeling the same as me, and it's nice just to see someone else that's gone through it, looking really healthy. And have you got a family and things now?
I don't have a family, no, but it wasn't as if I didn't plan it, but just other reasons, like other multiple reasons. I tried very hard. We went through a lot of treatment. We went abroad even to try, and it just didn't work for us. But still coming to terms with that. But I mean, I've just turned 50 now, so I need to start getting on with it. And
I'm really sorry to bring it up. I didn't know. And just one more question: is that because of the transplant? Did they say? Because obviously I've not had that sort of discussion with them.
yeah, no. That was one of the first questions that I asked when I found out. It was, could I still have children? Because it was one of the things that I wanted in my life. And they said, of course you can. It will not affect you in any way.
Yeah.
But unknown to me that there was other reasons that I just couldn't. So it wouldn't affect anybody watching this that now wants a family. It will not affect you. They'll just keep a really close eye on you, like particularly a female being pregnant. But no, it shouldn't affect you.
Lovely. Well, it's been really, really nice to speak to you. Thank you very much for taking a bit of your time of the day to have a little chat. And it's, like I said, it's really encouraging for me just to see and speak with somebody that's doing so well.
Yeah, that was one of my questions as well. Was like, well, how long will this last?
Yeah.
And I was told that the longest surviving transplant patient was 13 years at that point when I was
really?
so
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, that must have been sort of, I couldn't imagine. And then when you're getting to that 13 years, you're thinking, is it going to be it? But like I said, I've spoken to tons of people now that have been going 30, 40 years, so it's really...
It's so like amazing what they can do. I mean, I was in the hospital for months and months.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were in and out in like 2 weeks or something.
What, for my transplant? Yeah. When I was diagnosed with Wilson's, I was probably about a year, maybe just over a year, in and out. Just trying to, obviously, when I first got taken in, and then when I was trying out all the medication, it took a little while to get that balance. So we'd be home for a couple of days, I'd be ill. And because it was a worrying time, if I was sick, my mum was like, right, straight back to hospital. So there was probably times that we could have just stayed at home. They could have just changed the meds. But you know what it's like. It's obviously terrifying for parents as well. Yeah, it was that in and out time, but thank God Kings was there, I think.
Oh, they are an absolutely amazing team.
Do you go down there once a year?
I used to have to go down once a year, up until I had a really bad bout of bronchitis one year, and my consultant, Dr. Crofton, said, look, you're not well enough to travel, so we'll just like take your bloods here, and we'll see, like we'll explain to Kings that now you can't come down. They were very reluctant to let me go, and I loved going down just to see like
I like my little trips stuff.
So and it's probably so different from when I was there now, even on the ward. But the doctor from Edinburgh, Royal Infirmary, comes now to one of the local hospitals, and I see him every 12 months. So I just get bloods done, and he monitors like the prograph, the amount of prograph that's in my blood. So I'm only on 2 milligrams now.
Are you really? I'm on 9 at the moment.
That's good. That is fantastic for 8 months.
Yeah. It was that I haven't had any side effects from the Prograf, but the steroids when I first came out of hospital, night terrors, and I still get quite itchy at times. I don't know whether you ever get that.
I did when I was still in hospital. I had a few issues with my bile duct, so I had a stent put in. It kept closing up, like just where the suturing and like the attachment was, it kept narrowing. So I didn't get out of Kings. I didn't come home. So I was there in June and didn't come home until like the September, because I kept getting recurring infections. I'd go to Halfway House if Halfway House is still there.
I don't know.
No, so it was a building across from Kings where they had so many flats, and people who lived far away from the hospital could go there with their families just like to get out of the hospital. So it was like a halfway house.
I stayed in one of those when I had to go up for the because for me I had to go and do a load of tests before I could even have the transplant. So you have to go up and do a fitness test and everything. And I stayed in some, but they were just down the road slightly.
It may have changed now. So every time I went there, I ended up having an infection, and I was back over into Todd's ward. So they decided at one point, right, we're just going to send you straight home and see what happens. So they did, and I got an infection and ended up back in the hospital and on lots of antibiotics, which cleared it up. It was fine, but I think it was a bad omen for me. So they said, no, we're not sending you there. We're just going to send you straight home.
Straight home, yeah.
So yeah, I was down quite frequently after it, because they couldn't find the main blood vessel in my liver and like the main blood artery. But all the doctors said like you'd be severely ill if it wasn't working properly. So every time I had an ultrasound, they couldn't find it, and then it wasn't until maybe about 15 years later, 12, 15 years later, they actually found it in a scan in Kings. So I was like, whoa!
I bet they were excited.
Yeah, but I just feel very, very lucky to be here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much, Heather. It's been lovely to speak to you.
You too.
We'll stay in touch anyway.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Tune in to another episode next week, hopefully. Bye-bye, Heather.
Bye, Danny.
Bye.